Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. It's Aisha, aka Lesh of Living Lesh, and I'm so excited you're here. Here on Living Lesh, you'll find everything from beauty, travel, lifestyle, home, fashion, motherhood, all of that and in between, and we're all about living that luxe life based on how you define it. Today we're here with a beauty tutorial, and I don't do those very much because I'm all about skincare, but I want to do a tutorial based off of the makeup I do for Disney because I'm on my way to Disney in less than 7 days and I'm so excited. Now, this is not my first time at Disney nor my first time in Orlando going to any of the parks, and on the past times I've been there, the one thing I learned that if I want to look glam, there is a whole process you have to go through to make sure that your makeup stays put the entire day. There have been times where I have just given up on my makeup. I have only done my eyes, which I mean by mascara and maybe like a little bit of a lip, because at a certain point it either gets cakey or it feels like it's dripping off and you're just sweaty because it's hot and humid in Orlando. So on this video, I'm going to be giving a tutorial going through the steps I take to create this makeup look, which I'm going a little dark today, but sometimes I go light. It all depends on the lip and the eye. Obviously the colors can change, but I'm going to take you through the steps that I do to be able to set my makeup so that it stays all day, and those tips and tricks to keep it hydrated and looking good throughout the entire day, depending on how long you're either going to be in Orlando, at any of the parks, specifically at Disney, because look at these cute ears. You want the good makeup, the cute ears, the look, you want it all together. That's why you're here, and I'm going to take you through those steps. Granted, I do want to add a caveat that I am not a professional makeup artist. This is just the tips I've learned, and I am still getting new tips along the way, but this is the best I got. And the last time I did this was when I was in Universal. I did this look and it stayed put from 8 a.m. when we started until 8 p.m. when we were there. Very good. So I'm going to take you through it without further ado. With one further ado, let me back up a little bit. Before we get into the tutorial, I want to let you know that everything I am mentioning is right below in the description. All the products that you'll see me using are either listed below or they're alternatives if they're sold out or no longer available. So for example, there's a mascara and some other products that are no longer available. I just still have them, but I've listed some alternatives that are still great and do the trick. Now, the first part of before we get into the tutorial of how to put the makeup on is to make sure that you have a good skincare routine in the morning. If you don't have a solid base, your makeup is just not going to work. So always start with a good morning skincare routine. I've also listed some suggested skincare products to make sure that your skin is fully hydrated, as well as making sure, the most important thing, that you put an SPF layer on there because you want to make sure that you're protecting your skin. But now let's get into the full tutorial. So first things first, we're starting with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, and this is doing double duty as both a moisturizer and a primer, which I love. To set it and make sure it's good, I use a hand dryer and dry it up just to make sure everything's on there together, and next I'm on to the brows. For brows, I'm using the Urban Decay Brow Blade, which has two ends, a pencil side and an ink pen side, and both are waterproof, which is exactly what is needed for Disney. I'm starting with the pencil side to fill in and outline the shape using short little hair-like strokes, and then I'm keeping the front of the brow softer and building more definition through the middle and the tail. Then I flip it to the ink pen side to add a few micro strokes right at the front, and this what makes the brow look like actual hairs and not just fill in. Then I spoily everything up, and then we're cleaning up the shape underneath with the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I'm running a thin line right along the bottom edge of the brow to sharpen the shape and lift the brow bone because it makes such a difference, especially on camera. Okay, so for the eyes, we're building this in layers, and I promise it's more simple than it looks. I'm starting with the Bobbi Brown eye base patted across the entire lid. This is what keeps everything from creasing, especially in the humidity. Then right on top of that, I'm pressing the Kosas Concealer across the lid as well. This gives the eyeshadow a bright, smooth base to work on so that the colors actually show up. Now for the shadow, I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. It's one of my favorites that I've had for a while, but you can find other alternatives elsewhere. I'm pressing a light warm nude across the whole lid first as the base. Then I'm using a soft taupe goes into the crease as the transition color. And then I'm blending this in a windshield wiper motion so it's seamless. The key move here is the outer corner. I'm taking a deep warm brown and pressing it in just on the outer third of the lid and slightly up into the crease at the outer edge, forming a soft V shape. And I'm blending inward about halfway so it gets a little lighter as it moves towards the center. That's what gives you the layer depth without looking heavy. And then a little shimmer pattern on the center and then the inner lid, and then a pop of that same shimmer right in the inner corner. The inner corner highlight is everything for brightening the eye on video. Then I'm adding liner to the upper lash line with the Lancome Idol liner. And then for lashes, I am using a tubing and waterproof liner to make sure everything stays set, because if it's waterproof, then it's never going to bleed. Now it's foundation time. I'm using the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra 24 Hour. This formula is matte and long wearing, which is exactly what we want for a full day outdoors. I'm applying this with a foundation brush today, and I'm buffing it in small circular motions starting at the center of my face and then working outwards. The brush gives me a really buildable, smooth coverage, especially around the nose and inner corners where I want a little bit more precision. Blending down the neck so eventually there's a line, and keeping the application light on a well-buffed layer is all you really need. Now for concealer placement with the Kozas Revealer. I have to say this is one of my favorite concealers right now. The caffeine helps with the puffiness, which is a bonus for early morning park days. Under the eyes, I'm drawing a little upside down triangle, the point landing about level with the bottom of my nose. And I'm patting it in with my finger and using a concealer brush. I'm never rubbing, always patting. And then a small dot anywhere else I need extra coverage. And then a light tap in the center of my face, nose, the bridge, the forehead, chin, for that lift from within and the brightness that reads really well on camera. I pat with my fingers, but I also use a concealer brush to blend it in and make sure I get that shape, and to make sure that everything's really built in so that it stays, and it stays all day. For contour, I'm working with the Makeup Forever HD Skin Cream Contour Palette. Cream-based contour is my go-to over a matte foundation base because it blends so naturally and you don't get any powdery lines. And then now I'm going to weave it into my natural cheekbone hollows, and then a light dusting along the sides of my forehead, along the jaw, and thin lines down each side of the bridge of my nose. Everything is blended out, so we want shadows and not stripes. So as I'm building everything from this palette, I use my fingers to use this palette. A lot of people have used brushes. I find that using my fingers, I can get better placement. I can pat some of the product in a little bit more before then going in with a bronzer or contour palette and placing it all in. So I'm using my contour brush right now to blend it in, not pulling, just patting to make sure I'm keeping with those lines. And then I'm going in for my first setting. I do this before I put on my concealer or my highlighter. So now that I've blended everything out, I'm actually going to go in with a hydrating setter, and I'm going to spray it on, add some hydration to my face. Again, going back with that fan that you're seeing a couple times in this and making sure that it is all set, because after I do the hydrating setting, I go in with a translucent powder and then set the foundation and the contour before going back to my contour palette and setting in the highlighting area. So I'm going in underneath my eyes, I'm going in underneath the contours I've set, in the middle of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose. And again, I'm using my fingers here just to kind of make sure that I'm getting the product that I want, the product that I need, and not going too much or too less. So unfortunately, I had a little blip with the camera and ended up having to switch to a different view because that camera turned off, but we are still here. So you can see I'm still adding the concealer in the areas that I really want to get that natural highlight and to make my contour pop. And I'm using my fingers as you see, and then I'm going in with a concealer brush where I am now blending everything out. I want to make sure I'm blending it out in the eyes, same way in that V section underneath the eyes, blending in with the forehead, anywhere else. And then I'm going in with a banana colored setting powder to put it over top of those places where I put concealer to add a little bit more warmth because I don't like it as bright. Then I go in with a blender and get rid of those sharper lines if there are any left, before then going in and doing my baking. And I am baking right under the eyes, and anywhere I put the concealer, I'm using the baking powder from Makeup Forever because it has been my favorite, and it comes with the angled powder brush so that I'm able to get underneath my eyes without getting it everywhere. And for baking, I make sure to do this before I do anything else when it comes to bronzer or my blush. So we're going to bake this in and making sure it's still warm and adding that color. So I go back into my contour palette to add some more of the darker colors to add a little bit more bronzer and warmth into my contour. Especially after adding the concealer. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't look as deep as I want, depending on how much product I put on, but I do like adding this kind of deeper tone and blending it in. I go back with my brush, I blend it all in before heading into my next step while I'm baking. We're going straight into the blush. I'm using the Makeup Forever Artist Liquid Color. A little goes a long way with this one, so I'm starting with just 1 to 2 drops on my fingers or my hand, and then I'm patting it in with my fingers. I'm blending it upwards towards the temple, now outwards toward the ear. You want it sitting high on the cheek so it gives you a flushed, natural glow rather than just a stripe across the face. Now I'm going back to sweep up the baking powder from the highlight areas using a brush so you can see that glow underneath. And then I'm going to go back into my palette and add a little bit of highlighter just to add a little bit of highlight and color catching onto the bridge of my nose as well as to the upper parts of my cheek over the blush. And we're on the final steps. First is a quick dusting of the Muff HD Skin Powder just across the T-zone to lock in any shine which I get on my forehead, nose, and chin, and I don't want to see that shine at the end of the day. For lips, I'm lining it with the Pat McGrath Lip Sculpt Liner first, and that's one side of the double-sided lip kit, and filling in the whole lip and then layering the lipstick right on top. I'm slightly overdrawn on the upper lip just a touch because it photographs so beautifully. Then I'm using 2 sprays to set. First is the Makeup Forever Mist, and then I'm going in with the one size finishing spray, and I'm using the one with SPF because it is miraculous. Now, those are the steps I take to do my Disney makeup look. And this, again, is the same steps I did for Universal when I was there and it was hot and humid, and it stayed put for over 12 hours. Now, I will go and say that you do need to have things throughout the day to keep you still hydrated and to keep your makeup touched up. So the 2 things I bring, one is my Bobbi Brown pressed powder that you saw me apply during the steps. Now, I have it in the shade Peach. You can get it in other colors. There's translucent, there's lighter tones. I keep it for peach because I still like that, you know, warmer look. Now with this, you want to make sure that you have an angled powder, I would say powdered brush if you want to bring a brush, or I usually have, what I have with me is that angular little blender. You can get those from one size. Again, I've linked it below. You kind of want to press it into the areas that are getting sweaty or they're getting oily, depending on what your skin's doing. The one thing that I've learned is if you only have certain spots that are getting oily during the day, but you tend to apply it throughout your entire face, you're actually over drying the other areas that are doing very well. And what people don't often know about skin, their skincare routine, or, you know, just knowing what their skin does, is if you have oily skin, it may not be because you actually have oily skin, it may be because that your skin's actually dehydrated and dry. So what your skin does is when it's like, oh, I'm dehydrated, I'm gonna create more oil to keep myself moisturized. And then you think you have oily skin, but it's actually just dried out. So if you have places that are already just set and you add more things to dry it out, what it's going to do is it's going to then start increasing oil. So when I use reason why I use my Angular Precision Blotter is I only apply it usually on my under eyes when I want to fix those up or in my T-zone. The other product that is my holy grail, if I'm not bringing this, I'm typically bringing this 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10. This is the one size blotting spray. This comes in a bigger size. I obviously take it for the travel size because you won't take up too much space in your bag, but this is a good spray to help. It helps absorb the oil and moisture on your face. So if you start to feel like your face is just getting too out of control, you take it, a little bit goes a long way, and you do a figure 8 on your face and just touch it up. It does wonders. I go into the bathroom, I maybe just go into a corner, spray this on real quick, typically in the bathroom if I want to see what it looks like and if I gotta do any touch-ups or just kind of blotting with like a little bit of a paper towel. You could also bring blotting paper if you want to add that. I've never needed blotting paper, but this is what I bring. So both of these are linked below. So obviously, like I said in the tutorial, you can go brighter or you can go darker depending on what the look is you're going for. I have a darker lip and eyeshadow on today because of the fact that I am doing a darker look today. Obviously, I'm not in Disney World today. I'm basing it off the look that I'm wearing today, but this would be a good look for my Bambi look that I'm wearing for Animal Kingdom. And I'll go lighter for my Cinderella look at Magic Kingdom, as well as my Minnie Mouse look for Hollywood Studios. And I'm still working on what color I'm gonna do for my Winnie the Pooh shampoo look. But I digress on that. So this again is the full tutorial, everything from the skincare products that I suggest, as well as all the makeup looks, as well as alternative makeup products that you can use, are all linked in the description below. If you want to see how my makeup holds up for sure, follow me on my Instagram because you'll see what I'm doing live. If you've watched this afterwards, you could probably go check out the vlog that I'm doing on my Disney trip there. You can see how it all kind of pulled together. If you look at my old one that's previous to that, you'll see how my makeup was a little bit falling off. That's when I didn't know anything. But again, I'm digressing. I'm getting over there. I'm chatty. I'm chatty here on Living Lash. But I thank you all for stopping by. If you are new or this is your couple times coming back and you have not hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay connected here at Living Lash, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.